This is Vernissage TV at Palazzo Contarini in Venice, Italy. And I'm sitting here with Andrew Perchuk. He is the Deputy Director of the Getty Research Institute. And we're here at the Palazzo Contarini, who has been restored recently with an exhibition called Venice in Venice. That is actually an announcement here for a very big exhibition in October in Los Angeles at the Getty Institute. Andrew, tell us a little bit about the exhibition from October on.
Well, beginning in October 2011, all of the museums in Southern California are coming together on one collaborative project. So 65 museums stretching all the way from San Diego to Santa Barbara are all going to look at different aspects of art produced in Southern California after World War II, from 1945 to 1980.
To the 1980s. And you mentioned before a survey you did for the last 10 years about what's happening in arts in that certain time you mentioned before.
Yes, the project began really as an archive project to look at what was still out there in terms of archival records of the art, the museums, the galleries that made the Southern California art scene after the war. So the first thing we did is commission a survey and hire an archivist and go around and look at what research materials, at what archival things were still available, and then the Getty Foundation, which is not my part, but a different part of the Getty, gave grants to catalog and make those research materials available to scholars. And once they'd had a chance to use these materials and come up with all kinds of new findings about Southern California art after the war, we decided that rather than just keep it to specialists, to scholars, we should really do something that invites the general public in to find out more about this art.
And show what happened like since the 1940s in California art scene.
Absolutely.
I don't know how many artists here in Venice, Italy are shown in this exhibition. I think something like 24 or 25 artists who were chosen for the announcement here in Venice.
Yes.
The exhibition in Los Angeles starting in October, so I can imagine you have more than these 24, 25, because you mentioned 64 museums, 64 galleries in the Southern Californian part.
We think there'll be about 500 living artists, plus quite a number who, are no longer with us. So probably altogether about 750 artists, designers, architects will be taking part in the project. From, the household names like Ed Ruscha, John Baldessari, Via Selmans, to people who were extremely important in that historical moment, but who are no longer as well known. Someone like Ron Davis, who was an extraordinary painter that Art Forum called the great artist on the West Coast in the 1960s. And he made these incredible paintings that are made kind of like a surfboard in layers of wood and plastic and resin. And they give this incredible, he could have been part of this exhibition in that there's an incredible optical quality to his work where they're flat like paintings, but they seem to project off the wall 10 or 12 feet. And you get this sort of vertigo-like experience where you think that you're both, it appears as if when you look at them, you feel that you're both standing above them and looking at them from below at the same time. So there'll be, we hope, a lot of new discoveries and rediscoveries as well as...
the East Coast art scene is probably better archived and more common than the West Coast art scene, so I can imagine that's going to become very interesting. Venice in Venice. I mean, we have Venice in California too. Light
Yes.
is very important in these two places. So was that one of the decisions to make the announcement here, or just the game with the names, or?
Well, I think that the fact that illuminations was the theme of this Biennale,
Right.
and then the very different quality. I mean, the quality of light reflecting off of water was extremely important for many of these artists, and of course for many Venetian artists historically. The quality of light is so completely different, though, that it's a wonderful contrast.
It is. Even in the exhibition here at Palazzo Contarini, there's some rooms where artificial light as well as natural light is used for the installations, for the paintings, and that makes it really nice.
And of course, many of the artists who are identified with things like the light and space movement in Southern California didn't use natural light at all.
Like James Turrell, yeah.
Exactly.
Where we see here a very nice installation as well. You mentioned before the exhibition in Los Angeles or in Southern California starts in October, and you mentioned a festival before, which is part of the exhibition.
Yes, most of the exhibitions will open in October and run through March. But in addition to that, in January, we're having a very large public and performance art festival all across the city, which will have both new work, some young artists responding to this history, new commissions by artists like Andrea Fraser and Mike Kelly, Vaginal Davis, but also some remarkable recreations, things like James Turrell's only, as far as we know, performance piece that he ever did, a thing that Judy Chicago did with fireworks, pyrotechnics. She actually went to pyrotechnics school to train in how to use these things, and then did a series of performances, one of which will be recreated.
Okay. So, good luck for the exhibition here in Venice. Good luck for the exhibition then coming up from October on. This was Andrew Perchuk from the Getty Research Institute. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and I hope everybody will come to Los Angeles in October and see what's on offer. Thank you.
Thank you.